The Lakers and the Pacers are now in the mix for him.
Of course they are.
Your thoughts on that, Ashley?
I mean, of course they are. He's the best available. It's like, it's not because Deandre Ayton is some like unicorn at the center position. I mean, if we're going to be honest, there have been a lot of strikes in his career that have kind of made it not worth the talent that he does possess. Let's make it very clear. This is a talented basketball player. Everybody in the NBA has a level of talent, but sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze, and that's kind of been the narrative about Deandre Ayton. But this just goes to the point that Brian and I have kind of been saying over these past few days. It speaks to how thin the market is this particular offseason, this particular free agent season, that Deandre Ayton is somehow now the most viable option, the diamond in the rough, if you will, that now you have not one, but two teams that will likely be fighting each other to get him on their roster because they are desperately in need of a center.
That's the word, desperate. The Lakers are desperate for a center. So if they sign Deandre Ayton, we're going to do breaking news, and we're going to say the Lakers got Deandre Ayton. Deandre Ayton is not a good player. Like, he's not. Like, this is a...
No, he has... I wouldn't say he's not good. He's inconsistent. That's the word I would use. Inconsistent's the word I would use.
Okay. Deandre Ayton...
Everyone in the NBA is good.
Well, fine,
yes,
but we're talking about NBA standards.
Yeah.
It'd be like if somebody picked up Campaign.
That's why I said he's not an elite player. He's a good player. He's a solid player.
We'll offer zero change to your team.
That is true.
So we're gonna, if the Lakers pick up Deandre Ayton, we're gonna have a conversation like, what does this do for the Lakers? Nothing.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it does help Luka, essentially, in Luka's game, because we've been talking about Luka needs to play with a center.
Oh, and a good center. He's going to play with a center. Jackson Hayes is a center.
Yeah,
he's a good center.
But I would say I would put Deandre Ayton above Jackson Hayes. I would.
I mean,
I'm not saying I'm not saying he's like the Messiah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is like in comparison of the two, it is a slight.
We can agree it speaks to the class.
It's a slight,
it speaks to the class.
Okay. So we also got the breaking news, which we touched upon at the beginning here, about Dame Lillard out in Milwaukee. Bucks reportedly waiving Lillard and $113 million that are left on his contract to clear space to sign free agent Miles Turner. So when you think about Dame now and what his future looks like, where are some landing spots
He's the winner. He's the winner.
Well, he's the winner, but he's also kind of in a tough predicament. He's the winner because, look, Milwaukee was never where he wanted to be. Let's be honest. You know, we all know the saga of he is in Portland. He requests the trade. This is an organization he gave his entire career to. And they say, okay, we'll trade you. He makes it clear, look, Miami's really where I want to go. And in a move that's just so anti the NBA and anti-superstars, the Portland Trailblazers sent him to Milwaukee. And we all know how difficult that was for him and his family and living away from them in Milwaukee. So now he gets his money and is an unrestricted free agent. And he'll have the freedom to go wherever he wants. The catch of that, though, he is of a particular age. He's coming off of a massive injury that does change the way a lot of guys play. And again, you want to incorporate the fact he's of a particular age coming off of that injury. It does make things a little bit sticky in terms of where he can go. But he's already got his money. He's going to sit out for this year. He wasn't going to play this upcoming season, and if he was, it was going to be at the very tail end. So essentially, Damian Lillard does come out of this the winner until it is time for him to find a new home, and I feel like that's going to be a little bit trickier once that time comes.
No, Damian Lillard can go to any team he wants.
Coming off an injury at 35 years old?
The Bucks are paying him. He'll play for a vet minimum. This is free money.
But you're assuming he wants to play for a vet minimum.
He's already getting paid by the Bucks.
What I'm saying is what if he wants to go somewhere and wants a long-term deal? That's where it gets sticky. That's where the contention comes from.
He's already got all this money. No.
You don't know that. There are guys in the league.
Then he would be making his own bed. I'm saying he has the opportunity in front of him. He's already got max money coming from the Bucks. He can sign with any team. Any team in the NBA would sign Damian Lillard for a vet minimum.
For a vet minimum, that's the key. I'm talking about if Damian Lillard wants to go somewhere and wants a long-term deal.
So he wants 2 max deals?
If he wants a deal like they did with Kyrie Irving, where they gave him less money and an extended period of time, that may be trickier.
Right, but Ashley, he's got 5 years with the Bucks. 5.
I'm simply playing devil's advocate.
You don't 2 contracts.
I'm simply playing devil's advocate. You don't know where his mindset is. You don't know if he still believes that he is a player who can contribute to a basketball team and does not want to play for a vet minimum. If he does, that's where it gets trickier.
Ashley, if he was playing for any, if he wanted another long-term deal, he would have 2 max contracts. He has a max contract. He's getting paid by the Bucks.
I'm not saying he needs a max contract. What if he wants to go somewhere and he wants to get signed for 3 years, $65 million? What if he wants to go somewhere and he wants to get 2 years, $65 million?
Then he's making his own.
Well, that's a very real possibility, and that has to be addressed when the time comes.
I don't think so, because he's already got $113 million coming over 5.
Okay, so where do we want to see him go?
Anywhere he wants. That's the
Damian
point. If he wants to ring chase now, nobody is bound by money now. If he wants to, he can go to any team he wants. He can figure out the perfect playing time, the perfect championship, anything.
Yeah.
I mean, vet minimums or anything around, mid-levels, whatever, is free money in the NBA. And he's got the max.
Of CBS Sports HQ, Jenny Dale here. We've hit the month of July. This year is flying by. Here we are, July 1st, and that means one thing. Free agency in the NBA, and today has been absolutely insane. We had breaking news from the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks plan to sign Pacers free agent center Miles Turner to a 4-year, $107 million deal. That is per ESPN. Now, Turner has spent his 10-year career with the Pacers, who just lost in the NBA Finals to OKC. The Pacers will be without their point guard and Tyrese Halliburton next season because of a torn Achilles. That injury possibly left the club less prone to re-sign Turner. Looking at some of the top free agents and their landing spots, everyone getting theirs at this time, and the news is breaking as we sit here and speak. Miles Turner now going to sign with the Bucks. We have Alexander Walker to the Hawks. Dorian Finney-Smith went to the Rockets. Ty Jerome to the Grizzlies. Brooks Lopez to the Clippers, and you see there's some more on that list, and we are going to chat and figure out where they might be heading next. We got Brad Bodkin and Ashley Nicole Moss here with us on top of all this breaking news. It has been a busy morning for you guys. It was busy yesterday. Yeah. Today just seems like we're just waiting to see what comes down next. In the latest one, Miles Turner, a 4-year deal, $107 million. Milwaukee Bucks planning to sign him. You're not happy with this one.
This is, the Bucks, what's interesting, they have done a series of increasingly desperate moves to placate Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it was smart to start with. They went out and got Drew Holiday, gave up a ton to get him, but won a championship. Then they got a little bit more desperate when Giannis started floating that he might not be happy, and they made the Damian Lillard trade. It's still Damian Lillard, not totally desperate, but flipped out a lot of your defense for offense when Holiday left, brought in Lillard. It didn't work out. Now they hit the full panic button. If Giannis is going to walk out on us, which he's not saying that he's going to, but the hints are always there, and you worry about it. And they're obviously doing this to try to keep Giannis happy. But listen, let's keep this in perspective. Miles Turner has been on the trade block for the last half decade. If he was this valuable, somebody would have snatched him up. The Pacers were willing to move him for the right package. Nobody was willing to give that. The Pacers didn't want to go into the tax to keep him. He goes to the Bucks, and they waive Damian Lillard. Now listen, they're going to be paying Damian Lillard in this second apron era. All we talk about on all these shows, the second apron, how cash-strapped everybody is. Everybody's pinching pennies. Now the Bucks are paying Damian Lillard $22.5 million every year for the next 5 years, and he's not even on their team. If Giannis isn't happy with this move and he moves on, now you got Miles Turner on your team for 4 years and $100 million. You're paying Damian Lillard $113 over 5. He's not even on your team, and Giannis is gone. This is burn down the Bucks time. This can be such a crippling move 3-4 years from now when you're paying a guy like Lillard $22 million. We know, teams are doing everything they can to cut $1 million or $2 million. Down the road, they're paying 22 to a guy who's not there and another 25 to Miles Turner. They have absolutely no resources to further outfit this team. There's no way. This is such a desperate move. And Jenny, you're a baseball gal.
Yeah.
The Bucks and Damian Lillard, they need to get in touch with Bobby Bonilla's agent.
Give him some money every July 1st.
Bobby Bonilla's been getting paid for a quarter century by the Mets. The smartest deal ever. It's Damian Lillard Day for the next 5 years. in Milwaukee.
We're going to get to Dame in a second. We're also going to get to Giannis in a second. I just also want to point out that free agent Gary Harris just agreed to a 2-year deal with the Bucks with a player option in the second season. That just coming through. Let's stick real quick, though, with Miles Turner. And I know there's such a bigger picture when it comes to it, but just your thought on Turner.
Yeah, I disagree with Brad slightly. I understand Miles Turner has been on the trading block for, it feels like, his entire NBA career, but people have short-term memories, and he's coming off an exceptional season this particular season. I mean, let's go through it. 48, 40, 77 shooting splits, averaged almost 16 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 blocks in around 30 minutes per game. Also, Pacers opponents shot around 57% when he was at the basket defending this season. He's become just a really excellent two-way contributor, one of 4 players in the NBA last season with at least 100 block shots, 100 three-pointers, and 50 steals, and that's along with Jaren Jackson Jr., Brook Lopez, and Wemby. So, yes, he's been on the trade block, but he's a much better player than what that narrative tells. But Brad is absolutely right. This is hitting the panic button because Milwaukee knows Giannis is not happy. And apparently, if you let the reports that are circulating tell the story, he's not happy about Damian Lillard not being part of this roster. Now, that's an interesting conversation. I know we'll have that in a second, but this is everything with the Milwaukee Bucks doing what they have always done, and that is appease Giannis at any given necessary measure. Honestly, relationship goals. Find somebody that's willing to make you as happy as the Milwaukee Bucks are willing to make Giannis, regardless if it makes sense or not. If you want to be happy, I'm going to find a way to make you happy. I envy him, honestly. I need a man like that.
I don't want
I don't know how happy he's going to be battling for a play-in spot because, listen, Miles Turner's...
The East is a lot more open, though. They may be
the Bucks are
a
trash.
5th or 6th on the strength of Giannis alone. They may be a 5th or 6th seed.
They barely were that with Giannis and Dame and Brook Lopez. Miles Turner is a little bit better.
Those two did miss a lot of time together, though, in the regular season, which was part of the issue. I think that with the East being wide open, take the Pacers out of the equation, take the Celtics out of the equation. Obviously, both teams are missing their superstars. That's going to make a huge difference. They're not a championship team. This is not the team that's going to deliver a trophy in Giannis's trophy case, but this is a team that will be competitive in an Eastern Conference that's in shambles.
Imagine paying Damian Lillard $22.5 million for 5 years, Miles Turner for $25 million for 4 years to finish 6th in the JV Eastern.
You're doing anything you can, like you said, to keep him happy.
It's so
Doesn't
bad.
make sense.
It's so bad.
But he's happy.
Miles Turner's Miles Turner's a little bit better Brook Lopez. They're the exact same player. He's a little bit better. No, he's a little bit better than Brook Lopez.
He's
They're
also 29 years
rim
old.
protectors. This is so bad, Jenny. This is so bad. So desperate.
It's desperate for sure.
Oh, my God.
There's some desperation there. Here's what Giannis is posting right now. Mood 100. I don't know what is going on right now, man. What does this Miles Turner signing mean for Giannis's future? What do you think is going to happen?
I was just on with Avery Johnson, and he said that Houston better get ready because Giannis is going to be going there. I don't know where he's going to go. Listen, there's no way. If Giannis stays in Milwaukee with how just terrible this situation has become, then he's saying, and this is fine. This is his decision. He wants to stay with one franchise his whole career, and he's not going to prioritize winning. If he's prioritizing winning, he's out. He's out. There's no way they can win. There's zero chance they can win.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. This is not a championship team, like I said. This is a middle-of-the-road playoff team, and that's only because of how discombobulated the Eastern Conference is. But to Brad's point, and I've been saying this, I've also been on the train of I expect Giannis, if it's not right now, it's around February when he just realizes the writing is on the wall and I've done everything I can to make this situation work. I need to go elsewhere. Right now, it's a little bit sticky because I was very high on Giannis going to San Antonio. That's now different because they ended up using that second pick to get Dylan Harper, and people are moving around. He may start the season off with Milwaukee, see how this goes. Maybe we get a trade request from him by the trade deadline. Maybe he runs the whole season with the Milwaukee Bucks and sees what this team can do. But I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that Giannis, whether it's this season or next season, because he does have, 2 more years on his deal, I think whether it's the immediate, whether it's in the future, or somewhere in the middle, Giannis moves on for the Milwaukee Bucks. There's no future with this.
Cautionary tale to all these fans that are out there that have star players in their team, and every time the offseason rolls around, they say, do anything to keep our star happy. You have LeBron, you have Curry, make moves, be aggressive. This is the cautionary tale of that. When you go make these desperate moves, like when they were 31-13 with Adrian Griffin, they say, we need Doc Rivers.
Which is
that'll change everything.
But Doc Rivers was a sniper from the side. He was
I'm just saying, they keep making these, and it does show activity. It does on the surface say, we're trying. Yeah. We're not sitting on our laurels here, but these are such desperate moves, and we got to talk about the state of the Eastern Conference. If the conference is so bad that teams like Orlando can convince themselves that they can compete for a conference title because they get Desmond Bane, and the Bucks can say, we got a shot. We got Miles Turner. No, but how bad is your conference?
Orlando has a good basketball team.
They do,
and I think that Desmond Bane definitely takes them to a different level shooting-wise.
Because they're in the East.
But that's my point.
That's my point.
Yeah.
If your conference is so bad that all you have to do is add a non-all-star in Bane or Turner, and you can start talking conference title.
Okay, well, I don't think anybody's saying that about the Milwaukee Bucks.
The conference.
I don't think anybody's saying conference title for the Milwaukee Bucks. In defense of the Orlando Magic, this was a really good basketball team that is going to get better each and every year. It's a young basketball team. With Desmond Bane, they still keep that youth. They still keep that promise. And again, in an Eastern Conference that's wide open, I definitely think that the Orlando Magic are in a much better position for now and for the future than the Milwaukee Bucks are.
Because they're in the East. That's what if the conference is that bad that you don't have to be that good to be good.
I wouldn't say they're that good.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to another player right now. And with the Pacers losing out on Miles Turner, now their attention might be on a player like Deandre Ayton.